right, we gotta go, gang, gotta go.
As a first-year head coach, Sid Gilman led the LA Rams to the league championship game in 1955. But he is best remembered for coaching the San Diego Chargers of the wide-open American Football League.
The field is 100 yards long, and it's 53 2/3 yards wide. And we decided we're going to use every inch of it.
Gilman won 5 division crowns in the AFL's first 6 years and captured the league championship in 1963. He took the vertical game to new heights, and his influence is seen in the passing game of today.
One of the first players that I'd pick for my team is Ron Mix. Without question, there's an offensive tackle that is one of the most beautiful operators on a football field that you'd ever want to see.
Throughout the 1960s, Chargers tackle Ron Mix was nicknamed the intellectual assassin. He was a thinking man's lineman, and in 10 seasons with the Chargers, he was flagged for just 2 holding penalties. The Chargers' high-voltage offense of the 60s wouldn't have had the same jolt without their source of power up front. Hall of Fame tackle Ron Mix. Chargers receiver Lance Alworth was one of the most electrifying performers of his era. But during his career, he was driven to meet the expectations of his demanding father.
He said, well, no matter how good you are, there's always going to be somebody who could do a little bit better. And I went through my whole career looking for somebody like that, looking for somebody that was better than me, to prove to him that I was that good.
Alworth was that good. And when he was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, he passed the news on to his father.
I got on the phone, and my dad was on there, and I said, Dad, your son just got voted. I couldn't get it out. I couldn't finish it. And, I mean, it's emotional to me even right now. And I realized at that moment that all the things that I had done in professional football and college and all the athletic things that I had done, I had been trying to prove to him that I was that good. Hey, Dad, I really am good.
Red ball! 11, that's okay. That's a good-looking play there. Boy, that's 2 bad marks in a row. I can't believe it.
What San Diego Chargers fans could believe was that their own Dan Fouts was one of the best quarterbacks in the game. When his 15-year career ended, Dan Fouts became only the 3rd quarterback to throw for over 40,000 yards in NFL history. Through it all, the Hall of Fame quarterback found inspiration from within.
Nobody else can push you as hard as you can push yourself, to be as well prepared as you possibly can be, and to be as good as you possibly can be.
Fouts to throw, looks right, looks left. Throws end zone, touchdown San Diego. Chargers have scored first.
Dan Fouts holds 23 Chargers team records, 22 for passing, and 1 for most records held.
A standout linebacker in college, Fred Dean was moved to defensive end after being drafted by the San Diego Chargers. Despite tipping the scales at just 230 pounds, he dominated opposing blockers, amassing an estimated 100 sacks in his career. In 1981, Dean was traded to San Francisco, where he played for almost 5 seasons. In 1983, he led the NFC with a career-best 17.5 sacks. A 2-time Super Bowl champion, Fred Dean was named an All-Pro twice and played in 4 Pro Bowls.
Charlie Joyner is considered by many to be the greatest possession receiver in NFL history. Joyner was described by coaching great Bill Walsh as the most intelligent and most calculating receiver the game has ever known. His career spanned 18 seasons, an NFL record for wide receivers. At the time of his retirement, Joyner's 750 catches made him the NFL's all-time reception leader. The premier tight end of his era, Kellen Winslow twice led the NFL in receptions and had 3 seasons with more than 1,000 receiving yards. In a 1981 playoff win against Miami, number 80 blocked a potential game-winning field goal, made 13 catches, and scored a touchdown. Winslow's exceptional talent forever redefined the position of tight end.
Don Coryell began his NFL career as a head coach of the Cardinals in 1973 and quickly turned around the downtrodden franchise. He led a team that hadn't been to the playoffs since 1948 to back-to-back division titles in 1974 and 75. In 1978, he was hired to be head coach of the Chargers. It was in San Diego where his offensive innovations took flight. With an offense known as Air Coryell, the Chargers led the league in passing yardage 7 times in 9 seasons. He guided a Chargers team that hadn't reached the postseason in 14 years to 3 straight division titles and finished his 14-year career with 114 victories. Bobby Beathard was noted for his adept eye for talent. An NFL scout prior to joining the Dolphins as director of player personnel in 1972, Beathard was an integral part of Miami's 2 Super Bowl teams. He moved on to Washington, D.C. in 1978, where as GM he molded the Redskins into champions, winning 2 Super Bowls.
The Washington Redskins, for the second time in 5 years, are National Football League champions.
As GM of the Chargers, he ended the team's decade-long playoff drought and guided the franchise to its first Super Bowl in 1994.
Oh, good, Bobby! You did it, Bobby!
Ferocious, hard to block, but impossible to miss.
I cause havoc, whether it's a receiver, a running back, or an offensive lineman. Anyone with the opposite jersey, you're definitely going to have to deal with Junior.
Adept at dropping into coverage.
Intercepted by Sayal!
And dropping ball carriers. This 12-time Pro Bowler was an offense's worst nightmare.
Junior Sayal comes up with a huge play!
When LaDainian Tomlinson took the field, opponents faced a running back that was equal parts power and grace. One that rushed for over 1,000 yards in each of his first 8 seasons. In 2006, Tomlinson was named the NFL's most valuable player and set the record for touchdowns in a season.
And he will gallop into the end zone. Charger fans are witnesses to history. 29 touchdowns.
Absolutely one of the great talents that will ever play this game.
Takes the handoff to Tomlinson. Gunning towards the end zone in traffic. Antonio Gates beats that traffic. Has the football. Touchdown, San Diego.
Bringing his power forward physicality to the NFL end zones. Antonio Gates forever changed how the tight end position is played. The San Diego Chargers took a chance on the Kent State Golden Flash, who'd never played a down of collegiate football. What they got was nothing short of electrifying.
Drop, looking, firing into the end zone. Gates with a leaping catch. Touchdown, San Diego. Gates in the end zone again.
In his second season, Gates earned his first of 3 consecutive first-team AP All-Pro honors and 8 straight Pro Bowl selections.
LT, now he can throw it, and he will. And it's Gates, and it is a touchdown. San Diego Chargers. Holy mackerel.
During his 16-year NFL career, Gates set numerous franchise records and was named to the NFL's All-Decade Team of the 2000s.
And looking for Gates, going to the end zone. Touchdown Chargers! His 112th touchdown reception, the most ever by by a tight end in NFL history. Get that ball to Kent and grab Antonio's gold jacket while you're there.